Hi guys, how are you? I'm up and down personally. I've got to admit that this weekend just gone, it seemed to reach a crescendo for me psychologically, the impact of the lockdown. It's just, I had waves of depression and then waves of just craziness, and then, well, I suppose you could call it almost like a version of manic depression, like mania and depression alternating. And there's moments where I thought, either there's paranormal activity going on or I'm losing my mind. I know paranormal activity does happen, it does tend to follow me around, but at the moment, it could just be my mind playing tricks on me, because I do feel so isolated. And I am worried about finances. But then, on the other hand, that is something that the Wu flu has done to everybody. This whole lockdown situation, should I say, is more what's done it, not the actual virus, but the response of the governments, keeping us in lockdown. It's isolated us and it's caused us financial issues. So I guess we're a bit in the same boat as I was before it happened. So I was having financial issues and isolation before it was fashionable. So no. You're all just copying me now, aren't you? That's what it is, be honest. Oh, hello, Sushi. I don't know if he's going to come and say hi. But yes, I've decided that if the shit really does hit the fan, I'm going to be eating Sushi, my cat, first. Because he's the one that freaking wakes me up every morning at like 4 or 5 in the morning for nothing. He just meows outside my bedroom door. It's really annoying. So I'm a little bit tired because I just can't get back to sleep after that. It's just, if I have to get up and sort him out, then, I lose my sleepiness. But yeah, so I went out on Saturday. It had been a week since I'd been out of my front door, filled out my little form that I showed you. To begin with, it was kind of eerie how quiet it was. But it wasn't deserted. It's, I would say, a quarter of what normally goes on was going on. You had a few people walking around, a few cars going up and down. The buses did not seem affected. I saw as many buses as I usually see. Unsurprisingly, I saw more deliveries of meals than I usually see, like the Uber Eats and that sort of thing. The bikes going past. Also, unsurprisingly, all the checkout people at the supermarket and all the people working in shops, I could see through the doors as I walked past the shops that they're all wearing gloves and masks. Where I used to get my cigarettes when I was a smoker, because they're actually, it's a bar as well as a sort of a newsagent style shop. I saw that the lights were off at the back and all the chairs were on the tables, but the door was open. So obviously they were still selling cigarettes, but they weren't doing the sort of bar side of things. So that was that. And something else is, when I was on my way to the supermarket, because I go on foot, and I used to come back on the bus, but I thought, nah. I was told the bus services weren't going to be running as usual. I do know that the trains, most of them are cancelled, because I checked on that. So I actually went there and back on foot in the end. But on my way there, I walked past like a student area where there's student residents, and a lot of Asians are there. That's like the student place where there are all the Asian students that come over. And, I saw a few walking down the street with their masks, obviously. I didn't expect anything less. They're the only ones walking around with masks on, apart from people working in shops, but hey. And I just wondered to myself, I wonder if they're getting any problems, from people who are ignorant and arseholey to them, because of it coming from China and these people looking Chinese. I really hope that they're not having any problems. I really hope that people are not giving them a hard time about that. But it just crossed my mind, you know. I know that people throw the word racism around so easily that you forget that actual racism does exist almost, and this is one instance where I think there could be issues because there's a lot of ignorance in this world, and a lot of arseholes as well. But anywho, that's the deal for now. I'm feeling a little bit better than I was about the whole thing. I'm getting used to the whole quarantine thing now. And since I didn't actually see any checkpoints on my way to the supermarket or in my area, I know there are mobile checkpoints, so I will still go out with my piece of paper each time. I think I'm going to lighten up a bit. I'm going to try to, and I'm going to try and get on with things. I actually went into shutdown mode last week, I will admit, because this was a real blow to me. I couldn't believe the country was reacting like this. I was shocked. I was worried about government tyranny, about, it is Orwellian, but, you've got to try and continue as best you can. Not that is easy when you live alone and you're completely isolated, as I am. And I know I'm not the only person in that situation. I've seen, I've been watching a lot of live streams recently, and I have seen at least one person who said, I live alone and I'm on lockdown, and it kind of sucks. And I completely hear you. I know I've said it a million times, I'm an introvert, but it doesn't make it any less difficult. But what does make it difficult is that I feel isolated, but because people are losing their shit. And if I hear one more person say, stay safe, and I'm like, from what? What? I'm on lockdown. What do I need to stay safe from? And, I'm not going to die from the virus. But maybe they mean stay safe from government tyranny. Well, I'll try to stay safe from government tyranny, but such is the world we live in, unfortunately. And as I said, I'm all on my lonesome. And that kind of gets to me, I've got to admit. I don't like to be surrounded by people, but I really wish I could have just one person I could turn to. My ex, it was a foolish idea to even hold a conversation with my ex, because it dawned on me day before yesterday, I stopped talking to him because I realised he's manipulative and toxic, and that's why we're not together anymore. He is a covert narcissist, and it was a foolish thing for me to get back in contact with him. I've been tempted to get back in contact with other toxic people in my life because I seem to have only them to turn to. They're the only ones who are willing to connect with me, are the toxic people in my life. And I know I'm better off without them. And it's just really sad. It's sad that that's all I've got to connect to is toxic people, so I kind of have to be alone. I'm sure there's some sort of meaning to be found in all of this, but and I have accepted that the pandemic has put even more spanners in the works for me getting a job and getting a life. But this is beyond my control, and the other things that have really been spanners in the works have been things that have been beyond my control as well. So I'm thinking, well, this is how it's meant to go. And if I do end up on the street, or whatever, that's just what was meant to be. And it's unfortunate, it sucks, but I guess, you have to have faith. Anyway, now I'm rambling on, and it's always in 10 minutes, and this is going to take like all day to upload. So anyway, again, I would really love to hear from people. I don't check the comments because I don't get notifications, so I will go in and check the comments on my videos. And I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're holding out all right. And I'd love to hear about, how it is where you live, if you're in lockdown or not, and the way people around you are reacting, the way your government's reacting, how it is in different parts of the world. And even better if you are in lockdown. Well, as I said, I feel you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Love to you all. Bye.